Now let us talk about finding unknown A and D, that is the first term and the common difference resulting to simultaneous linear equation. Of course, there are cases in AP where two terms of the progression are given, just as you can see in this question. The 10th term is given and the 4th term is also given, and we are asked to find the common difference and the first term, and this usually leads to simultaneous linear equation that can be solved either by the two known methods, substitution method or elimination method. So let us take a look at this particular question. In an AP, the 10th term is 68 while the 4th term is 26. We have to find the common difference and the first term. Okay, so to begin with finding the common difference, we apply the same general formula, which is UN equals A plus bracket N minus 1 bracket D. Okay, so the 10th term is given as 68. Alright, then the first term is unknown, while the difference is still unknown. Okay, so the nth term which we are dealing with here is the 10th term minus 1 bracket D. So we go ahead, 68 equals A plus 10 minus 1, 9 times D, we have 9D. So this is taken as equation 1. Okay, then we take the second term. Similarly, we use the same formula. Okay, so now we substitute the values. For the fourth term is 26, then A still unknown, then the N, since it's 4 minus 1, that's 3 times D, we have 3D. So we take this as equation 2. So now we are to solve the two equations either by substitution or elimination. Okay, so but in this case we want to use elimination. Alright, so now solving equation 1 and 2, we have A plus 9D equals 68. We write it the other way round. Okay, then we have A plus 3D equals 26. So now we subtract equation 2 from equation 1. Okay, so A minus A, that is gone. 9D minus 3D, we have 60. 68 minus 26, we have 42. So now we divide both sides of the equation by 6. So now we have 6 cancel 6. 6 in 42, we have 7. So the common difference is equal to 7. So now we are to find the first term. Let us solve it here, the first term. So now we substitute 7, okay, for the value of D in equation 2. This is equation 2, right? So now we have 26 equal A plus 3D, which is now 7. Okay, so we have 26 equals A plus 3 times 7, which will give us 21. So we now have A equals, we subtract 21 from both sides of the equation, so we have 26 minus 21, and that will give us 5. So the first term is equal to 5. So you can see how the simultaneous equation comes into play. You first of all apply the given term, then also you used to get the equation 1, then you also apply the second term, use it to get equation 2. Then you either use elimination method or substitution method of simultaneous linear equation. Then you get a value, one of the value d. Then you substitute the value of d in any of the equation. It could be equation 1 or equation 2. Then you arrive at an answer for the first term. So we're going to see more examples in the next video. Let us now solve another example. In an AP, the difference between the 8th term and the 4th term is 20, and the 8th term is 1.5 times the 4th term. What is the common difference and first term of the sequence? Okay, so for this given question, it's a couple of things combined together, so we need to break it down piece by piece. Okay, so first let us write out the general formula for AP, okay, which is this, or bracket n minus 1 bracket d. Alright, so the 8th term, we're talking of the 8th term, so we have T8. Then for the first term is unknown, it is not given on the question. Then the nth term, in this case we're talking of 8, so 8 minus 1, that is 7 times d, so we have 7d. Then we go to the second term, which is the fourth term, so we have T4, okay, equals, the first term is not given, okay, still not given. Then for the nth term, which is 4 minus 1, okay, so we now have 3d. Then we go back to the question. Alright, in the questions we were told that the difference between 8th term and the 4th term is equal to what? 20. Good. Alright, so now we substitute this value for 8th term, okay, which is a plus 7d, okay, let's put out a bracket, minus the 4th term, which is a plus 3d, okay. This is what resulted to 20 as given in the question, okay. So now we have a plus 7d. We've opened the first bracket, so we have to open the second bracket. So with that, we minus the bracket, we multiply the bracket with a minus sign, so we have minus a, then minus 3d. Okay, this is equal to 20. This is also equal to 20. Alright, so now let us solve. Let's solve. So a minus a, that is gone. Then 7d minus 3d, we have 4d, which is equal to 20. So now we go ahead to divide both sides of the equation by 4. Alright, so 4 cancel 4 out from the left hand side. Then on the right hand side, 4 and 20 will give us 5. So we have the common difference now, which is the first question. To find the common difference, the common difference is 5. Alright, and if we go back to the question, second part of the statement, which says that the 8th term is 1.5 times the 4th term, which is this. The 8th term, T8, is equal to 1.5 times the 4th term. Okay, so now we also go ahead to substitute the same values for T8, which is A plus 7D, okay, equals, so now we quickly convert the mixed fraction to improper fraction. So 2 times 1, 2 plus 1, that gives us 3, so we have 3 over 2. Then multiply T4, which is A plus 3D, okay. Alright, so now we go ahead to simplify further. So if we multiply throughout by 2, we have 2 to multiply this. We have 2A plus 2 times 7D. We now have what? 14D, okay. Alright, so now we open this bracket on the right hand side 3 times A, we have 3A, 3 times 3D, we have 9D. Alright, okay. So now let us collect like terms, and our aim is to get or find out what is the first term, okay. So now if we move the A term to the left hand side, we have 2A minus 3A. Then we move the 14D to the right hand side, so we have 9D minus 14D. Okay, remember we found the value for D, so but we're coming to that. So 2A minus 3A, we have minus A, equals 9D minus 14D, we have minus 5D. Alright, so now we can cancel both sides of the equation. We cancel out the negative sign, so we have A equals 5D. And remember that we found the value for D. Okay, let me take it up. D5, you can see. So now we substitute that for D. So we have 5 times 5, okay, and that gives us 25. So the first term is equal to 25. One more example for us to see, okay. The first term of an AP is minus 8. The ratio of the 7th term to the 9th term is 5 to 8. Calculate the common difference of the progression. Applying the general formula for AP, Tn equals A plus bracket n minus 1 bracket D. First, we talk of the 7th term, which we have T7 equals the first term is given as minus 8. Okay, then the nth term 7, 7 minus 1, that is 6. 6 times D, we have 6D. The next we go over to the 9th term. The 9th term T9 equals the first term given as minus 8. Okay, 9 minus 1, 8. 8 times D, that gives us 8D. Okay, so but the question says that it's very specific that the 7th term to the 9th term, the ratio of the 7th term to the 9th term is 5 to 8. That is, the ratio of the 7th term to the 9th term is equal to the ratio of 5 to 8. Alright, so now let us substitute this for the 7th term. So we have minus 8 plus 6D over, then for the 9th term we also substitute that this for the 9th term, so we have minus 8 plus 8D equal 5 over 8. So we cross multiply. By the time we cross multiply, on the left hand side we have 8 bracket minus 8 plus 6d bracket. Then on the right hand side we have 5 bracket minus 8 plus 8d. Okay, we're in the process of looking for the common difference. Okay, so 8 times minus 8 will give us minus 64. Okay, 8 times 6d will give us 48d. Alright, then on the right hand side, as we open the bracket as well, we have 5 times minus 8. That will give us minus 40. Okay, then 5 times 8d will also give us 40d. So now we collect the like terms. So for on the left hand side we have the 48d. We'll move the 40d to the right hand side, so we have minus 40d equals, then on the right hand side the 64 moves from the left to the right, so 64 minus 40. Alright, so now we simplify further. 48 minus 40d will give us 8d equals 64 minus 40 will give us 24. So now we go ahead to divide both sides of the equation by 8. Alright, so 8 cancel 8 out on the left hand side, so we have d alone on the left hand side. 8 goes in here 1, 8 in 24 is 3. So the common difference is equal to 3.